This video is part 2 of solving linear equations. So in number 1 we have c equals 2 pi r and we want to solve for r, which means we want to isolate r. 2 pi r all being multiplied together, so the opposite of multiplying is to divide by 2 pi on both sides. So c over 2 pi is equal to r. Number 2, we want to solve for w. So we have V equals L times H times W. We want to divide out whatever is not the letter we're solving for. So we want to divide by L and H. So V over LH is equal to W. Number 3 gets a little bit tricky with the fraction involved. So A equals 1/2 base times height, and we want to solve for H. So first thing we want to do is we want to divide anything that we need to get rid of that's a letter and not a fraction. So we need to divide by b on both sides. So a over b equals 1/2 of h. Now to get rid of a fraction, remember you multiply by the reciprocal, so we're going to multiply by 2 over 1. So make sure when you're multiplying, the numerator gets multiplied together, so 2 times a is 2a, and 1 times b is just b, is equal to h. Number 4, mn plus p equals -10, solve for m. So the first step here is because p was being added, we need to subtract p from both sides. So mn equals -10 minus p. Then because we're solving for m, we need to divide both sides by n. And because n is a variable and not a number, we don't need to worry about splitting it up individually. So -10 minus p over n is equal to m. Number 5, solve for z. So first thing I want to do is I want to add or subtract anything that doesn't have the z with it. So because it's positive 5w, I want to subtract 5w from both sides. 3z is equal to x minus 5w. Then because it's a number, we're going to individually divide everything by 3. So z equals x over 3, or we can write it as 1/3 x minus 5/3 w. Number 6, solve for f. So everything that's not f needs to be moved, so we're going to subtract 6g first. -2y minus 8f equals 10z minus 6g. We also need to move the y over, so we're going to add 2y to both sides. Remember, all these are not like terms because they have different variables, so we're just going to keep writing them in a line. So -8f equals 10z minus 6g plus 2y. Then it's -8f, and we want to solve for f. So we're going to divide by -8 individually in each term and reduce these fractions. So f equals 10 over -8 reduces to -5/4 z. -6 divided by -8 reduces to 3/4 g. And 2y over -8 reduces to minus 1/4 y. Number 7, solve for x. So first thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of our parentheses by distributing. So 10x minus 15m plus 7m equals 9c. There's two m terms, so we can combine those together. So we get 10x minus 8m, because -15 plus 7 is -8, equals 9c. Then to get x by itself, we're going to add 8m to both sides since it was subtracted. 10x equals 9c plus 8m. Then we can divide everything by 10 and reduce. So the c doesn't reduce, so it's 9/10 c. It does reduce by the m to become 4/5 m. In the remaining problems, we're again going to focus on solving for y. So in number 8, we have y minus 6 equals 2x plus 10. we need to move the number away from the y, so we're going to add 6 to both sides. These are both constants, so they can be combined together. So y equals 2x plus 16. Number 9, 6y equals 12x plus 18. So right now, y is being multiplied by something, so we need to divide by that value. So everything's going to get divided by 6, and we reduce. So y equals 12 divided by 6 is 2x. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Number 10, 3y minus 12 equals 6x. So first step to solve for y is we want to subtract 12 from both sides. Remember, 6x and 12 are not like terms, so they get right next to each other. 3y equals 6x minus 12. The next step to get y by itself is to divide everything by 3. So y equals 2x minus 4. Number 11, notice that there's parentheses. So to get rid of the parentheses, we're going to distribute the 1/2. Y minus 2 equals 1/2 x plus half of 6 is 3. Then there's a number with the y that's being subtracted, so the inverse is to add it to the other side. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. Y equals 1/2 x plus 5. Number 12. So to solve for y, first we need to move the x to the other side. So because it's minus 4x, we're going to add 4x to both sides. 2y equals 4x minus 6. Then to get y by itself, we're going to divide everything by 2. So y equals 2x minus 3. Number 13, 8x plus 3y equals 12. So the first step, because it's positive 8x, is to subtract 8x from both sides. Remember that 8x and 12 are not like terms. So y equals negative 8x plus 12. Remember, we always want our x before our number. And then we're going to divide everything by 3. 8 is not divisible by 3, so we're going to leave that as a fraction, negative 8/3 x plus 4. 14, use the table to solve for g. Show all steps and explain them. So this time when we're solving, instead of me just talking through it, we're going to write the explanation for it. So first we have 5g plus h equals 7. This is step 1, and this was given to us. Then in the next step, to get g by itself, we need to subtract h from both sides. So that we get 5g equals j minus h. And our explanation is subtract h from both sides. Make sure that you're saying from both sides so that you're keeping your equation balanced. And then our final step would be to divide both sides by 5. And we get g equals j minus h over 5. So step 3 would be divide by 5 on both sides. Let's try one more. This time we're going to solve for y. So our first step, 2x plus 4y equals 12, is given to us because that's the original problem. Our next step, we want to move the x to the other side. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And we get 4y equals negative 2x plus 12. Subtract 2x from both sides. Then our next step is we're going to divide everything by 4 and reduce. So we can do that all in one step, and we get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. So our explanation here is going to be divide by 4 and reduce.